2 weeks on from the visit to Manicure, the Yamaha R3 bLU cRU European Cup moved on to a sixth different country of the 2021 campaign to settle the inaugural title at the Catalonia round. 5 riders separated by less than 50 points were all mathematical contenders arriving in Barcelona, and each proved their credentials by qualifying on the front 2 rows of the grid. And it was the 3 leaders, the number 76 Julian Giral, 2 Iker Garcia Abella and 16 Maxim Repak, with just 10 points between them, who were best placed to challenge for honours in a race for the medals that would go down to the final bend of the last lap in race 2. Saturday morning action saw Julian Giral line up from pole position, but Maxim Repak took up the challenge at the head of the field, the Slovakian impressively leading throughout the opening lap with Garcia Abella in tow. On the 1.047 km start-finish straight in Montmeló though, the longest on the calendar, the slipstream advantage was overpowering, keeping the lead 12 riders within 1.5 seconds of one another for the first half of the race. Repak quickly succumbed to the back of the group and could make no real recovery from 7th. Julian Giral was the next rider to emerge at the front as he attempted to take control of the race. The Spaniard, the only title contender without a victory to his name, led 2/3 of the laps over the line in race 1. The lead group only fractured 3.5 laps from the finish when the number 61, Uriel Hidalgo, ran wide, lost momentum, and held back the rest of the group behind him. But it was nonetheless the Spaniard's best ride of the campaign, and he even later set the fastest lap of the race. Maxim Repak has led more laps than any other rider in 2021, and he came into the title decider as one of 2 riders with 3 wins to their name. His title challenge, however, ended on lap 7 of race 1 as he was caught up in a 4-rider pile-up coming off Catalonia corner whilst chasing a place inside the top 10. 3 title contenders now sat at the head of the field. Number 47 Fenton Seabright really needing the win in order to remain in contention overall. Iker Garcia Abella looking good to bounce back in style after a scoreless weekend in Manicure. And Mr. Consistency, Julian Giral, still attempting to control proceedings from the front. Giral weaved his way successfully to the checkered flag and looked set to finally register his first win of the season, only for a post-race penalty to drop him to 2nd, his main rival Iker Garcia Abella promoted to top spot at his expense. 3rd and eventually 4th over the line, Fenton Seabright and Juan Antonio Canessa dropped out of the title race, more than 25 points back with only 1 race remaining, leaving Iker Garcia Abella and Julian Giral with a direct head-to-head going into the final race of the campaign, separated by just a single point. Damp conditions in race 2 further raised the stakes in the decider for the Spanish duo. Both were incredibly cautious into turn 1, but as if to underline the perils, the circuit quickly claimed its first victim. Facundo Morales, just a little too enthusiastic from 12th on the grid and going down midway through turns 1 and 2. The rest of the field, thankfully, able to avoid him. Restraint was the order of the day for the European Cup contenders, and they slipped quickly back from the podium places as the top 4 broke away. The number 2 and the 76, though, were never more than a second apart from one another. At the front, Ioannis Konstantinos Peristeras put in an excellent individual effort to take control of the race, increasing his advantage over his nearest rival for the lead by lap 4. Behind him, Fenton Seabright shook off Humberto Maia for 2nd, and Juan Antonio Canessa settled into a lonely 4th, well back from the podium places, but clear of the title battle behind. At the start of lap 5, Iker Garcia Abella finally made it through to lead the pack in 5th, while Julian Giral was relegated to the back of the train in 10th, in what would prove a pivotal moment in the 2021 season. In what was the last change of the race to podium places until the final lap, Humberto Maia fell chasing Fenton Seabright, gifting 3rd to Juan Antonio Canessa. Seabright, over the course of 3 laps, wiped out a 3-second lead for Peristeras before picking him off for his 3rd win in 4 races. There was no change, meanwhile, in the race for the title between Iker Garcia Abella and Julian Giral, 7th and 10th on track. Garcia Abella moving above his fellow countrymen by 4 points in the championship classification. Just 11 points separated the three medalists at the end of the inaugural Yamaha R3 bLU cRU European Cup season. Scoreless weekend for Maxim Repak and a fourth victory of the season for Fenton Seabright were enough for him to move into third overall after the Catalonia round. Fine campaign for Iker Garcia Abella, 3 wins, a total of 7 podium finishes and the European Cup title for 2021.